Today is a dramatic day for the Carolina Hurricanes. Exit interview day, pack up your locker day, walk away from the facility and not know if your friends are going to be there when you get back.
Not even sure if you're going to be back.
Unless you have a full no movement clause, in which case you pretend to be not sure, but you are sure. The offseason starts today. The offseason for the Carolina Hurricanes starts today. You actually, today's dramatic for a different reason. It's not the offseason starts today. It's next season starts today. Right? You have to, as a team, figure out what roles are open, what roles are filled by guys you want to bring back, what roles do you need. It's all about next season already. Do you have the alert set up on like Facebook or social media or something that shows you on this day, 10 years ago you posted this? Do you have any that come around every year? This just popped into my head. That come around every year that you're like, you cringe every time you see it?
Well, thankfully I got logged out of my Facebook about 6 months ago and haven't seen it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
My sophomore year as a backup, this is me in college at University of Delaware. My sophomore year, we lost in the national championship game, okay? The next day, so this was in January. The day after our game was my birthday, right? So my plan was we're going to win the national championship. Next day, birthday, national. Woo! Didn't end up happening. We don't have to go into the details of how we lost. But we lost, and on my birthday every year, Facebook reminds me of a post from right that day. And I mean, it's the most dramatic thing on the planet, right? A super competitive 20-year-old who just lost in the national championship game should not have been allowed to put anything on social media. But the dramatic post, and I forget the exact words because I see it every year and I immediately scroll. Thank the seniors for how hard they worked. And the lesson that I Facebook status that we learned from that team, from those seniors, was that next season starts today. This was on the plane flying back from Frisco, Texas, where the game was played. Next season starts today. Guess what I did that day? I landed and I drove to my dorm. I did nothing for the next season, but it's just dramatic, right? It feels closure. It feels opening. It's song lyrics, subtweets. It's dramatic. Next season starts today, and the Canes have an added deal. The added deal is they know Eric Tulsky is fearless. Their general manager, he is not afraid to make a splash. He is not afraid to trade guys. He is not afraid to make some moves. So even if you're not a free agent, right, you don't have to be Orlov, Burns, Robinson, right? You don't have to be these guys whose contract is up to sit around and go, I might not be back. Because you have a GM who traded for Mikko Rantanen and then traded away Mikko Rantanen in his first year as the GM. So if anybody is safe, I don't know. Right? Speaking of that Mikko situation, we're going to be mixing in throughout today's show audio from their exit interviews today, right? The players were all made available to the media. Adam Gold, Dennis represented the station, and they were down there grabbing info. And Adam got to sit down with Sebastian Aho. Now, for just a little bit of background, Sebastian Aho and Mikko Rantanen are both Finnish. Okay, they're both from Finland. They played on the Four Nations Cup team together. So when Mikko Rantanen showed up, there was a lot of talk about that, right? Guys that had played juniors together and everything being on the same NHL team. Aho was with Adam Gold and was asked how the Mikko situation impacted everyone. This is what Aho had to say.
Yeah, it was stressful. It was tiring. Obviously, I was, for sure affected me and Mikko's play too in a way that there's so much uncertainty, and it's easy to say, okay, you don't think about this stuff, but it's a big deal, it's big deal for him, big deal for myself, like organization, fans, everything, it wasn't the easiest situation, obviously, for us, and obviously I was I was with him. I was really, we talk about it so much, and we, went over certain stuff, and obviously stuff that it's gonna it's gonna stay between us. But it was quite honest, kind of stressful and tiring month at least.
Stressful and tiring month. That's what I'm talking about when you have a GM that's making splash moves. Right? You got to be prepared for anything. They might bring in one of your childhood friends and send them out 6 weeks later. Aho, more with Adam here. Sebastian was asked why he wanted things to work out with Mikko so much.
Type of player he is, caliber player he is, good friend of mine,
Right.
So obviously you try to do whatever. We talk about it too with him because I feel like even you don't think about it on the ice, but maybe you look back at the tape after the game and you're like, okay, I shouldn't even try to force that pass,
Right. Yeah.
So maybe
I agree.
So it does affect in a way that you have to just play the game and let things happen instead of forcing plays and try to find your guy, but yeah, I guess that's another learning curve for myself and probably a lot of people who was involved with the situation.
That's a really, really good hindsight conversation with Aho there.
He was very honest, very open about it.
And when you hear him talking about, lessons learned for everybody. And what I mean by that is the decision makers when it comes to roster building, you have to find the players that don't have to be forced, right? The ones that fit, the ones that show up and it feels natural, and being able to predict that isn't always the easiest thing. But that's what this offseason is about, right? If you're Eric Tulsky, the GM, and you bring in Mikko and very obviously doesn't fit, and even, Sebastian Aho as a center has to be one of the most fits with everybody players you can have. He's like, I'll do the dirty work. You can score the goals. What winger isn't going to be like, I like skating with that guy? Yet it still was forced. Then you bring in somebody like Logan Stankoven or Taylor Hall in that same move, and it's significantly easier, right? I'm not saying they're the caliber of player of Mikko or anything like that. What I'm saying is there was no forcing necessary because it just happened, and that's another level of roster construction. And that's why today is so dramatic. And that's why today is such a bow or a finish or I don't know music, crescendo? No, finale of last season and a beginning for next season. You have to be evaluating everything. Right, there's a bunch of exit interviews. You'll hear from Chatfield on our show. You'll hear from Stankoven on our show. We talked to Walker. We talked to Aho. Everybody spoke at the podium. There's a lot of information. And guess who's listening? Eric Tulsky or whoever is the decision makers. How badly do you want to be a Carolina Hurricane? I'll tell you this. Brent Burns sounded like somebody that didn't want to go anywhere. He's an unrestricted free agent. Sounded like somebody that wanted to keep playing. Sounded like somebody that wanted to keep playing here. Somebody like Dmitry Orlov, another unrestricted free agent. They asked him about his. He's not sure, right? His answer, obviously, second language and everything, so it's a little different. But he was a little bit more. We'll see. Everybody, what you say, who you say it to, how you say it, it's being evaluated because as great as this season was, and I think it was a positive one for the Canes, we've talked about it. Made to the Eastern Conference Finals in what I consider a retooling year. It's a high standard. The Eastern Conference Finals did show you that changes are necessary. Right? If you want to battle with the Florida Panthers, if you want to beat the Florida Panthers, if you want to hoist the cup, there are levels that still need to be climbed. I think changes are going to happen and everything's part of it. And that's why today is so dramatic. What was it? 3 years ago. Let me think. Yep. 3 exit interview days ago, darn near everybody was coming back and they knew it. What was it? It was Orlov was new, and there was one other one. I forget who. Michael Bunting, right?
Michael Bunting was one of the signings.
Didn't even make it a season. They had two new guys coming back that next year, and everybody else. It it was a sophomore going on summer vacation. See you for junior year. This year, it feels like there's seniors leaving, right? It's oh, see ya. It's not gonna be the same without you. Bye. This year, there's changes coming, and that's why today was I'm jokingly saying it's dramatic, right? They're highly paid professional athletes. You don't actually feel bad for them, but there's some closure happening today.